Hello and welcome into Wednesday afternoon's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hickson. I am once again hosting the Sun Devil Insider Podcast, as is the case every single day, as well as being your lead beat writer for the Arizona State Sun Devils on SI. And the week of practice for Arizona State football is complete, at least from the media's point of view. After successful days on Tuesday and Wednesday, um, Arizona State women's basketball opens up their road schedule for the 2025-26 season on Thursday night against the San Diego Toreros. The volleyball program plays a massive home game at Desert Financial Arena on Thursday night against bitter rival Arizona. The men's basketball team plays Gonzaga at home at DFA on Friday night in what will be a huge game. Adam Miller, a homecoming of sorts for the former Sun Devil. And then Saturday morning, Arizona State football against West Virginia. So it is still a massive week to be an Arizona State Sun Devil. There's a lot at stake this week for various athletic programs, and I will be here to cover all of it for each and every one of you. So, without further ado, let's get into kind of the meat of today's episode, which comes off of, like I said, a successful practice on Wednesday. They were very physical, they were very intentional with what was being carried out during practice. I want to say, about 30 minutes, 20 minutes before practice was over, they took their pads off and they were doing non contact walkthrough drills. And it's going to be interesting going against West Virginia because, as Kenny Dillingham has said repeatedly, West Virginia is a very physical team. They've turned the tables. They're one of the best run defenses in the Big 12 over the last few weeks. They are very fundamentally sound. The +1 run game has been there the last few weeks with Scotty Fox Jr. at the helm at quarterback. And they aren't the same team now that they were a month ago when they were routinely getting blown out in Big 12 play. So it'll be fascinating to see what unfolds. And just another wrinkle getting thrown into the fold on Wednesday is the news that wide receiver Jordan Tyson will officially be out for the game. And this is ahead of the Arizona State injury report or player availability report coming out on Wednesday night. Dillingham definitively ruled him out, and as of last week, it sounded like he wasn't going to be able to play, so this isn't entirely shocking. Dillingham said it would be more likely that Colorado would be the return point, which is interesting because Colorado is where Jordan Tyson played his freshman season at before transferring to Tempe, so that's another potentially interesting wrinkle into the rest of the season storyline wise. And yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not entirely surprised that Jordan is out for this game. I kind of saw it coming. The hamstring injury they suffered, hamstring injuries are tricky in general, but this felt more like a month long recovery process kind of tweak, because not all hamstring injuries are created equal, but the fact that he played through it probably elongated the recovery time. And West Virginia's run defense is very, very good, but their pass defense is still giving up quite a bit, even to Connor Wegman last week. And freshman Julian Lewis had an incredible game for Colorado last week as well, despite the run game really letting him down. So this is probably a week of all weeks that you can get away with Tyson being out. Just like Iowa State. Iowa State secondary is very, very banged up. So Arizona State actually kind of gets a break here, I'd say, per se. Um, but yeah, enough yapping from me. I want to get into the meat of discussing Tyson's absence and really breaking down what we could be seeing, what we should be seeing with no Tyson. Last week, it was pretty much the Shimon Mateer, Jalen Moss, and Malik McClain show, or week before, for that matter. Jeff Sims just has a great rapport with both McClain and Mateer. It's obvious how well they connect on the field because they connect off the field. That's one of those situations. And Jalen Moss had his breakout game as a member of the Sun Devils after being out for several games early in the season due to injuries and illnesses. And he really broke out. He was playing a lot on the outside. He wasn't even playing in the slot a whole lot, and he made an impact. I believe 3 catches for 52 yards. Shimon Mateer remains one of the best red zone threats in the entire Big 12. Malik McClain really backed up his performance against Houston. We probably won't see Malik go for 159 yards again in his collegiate career with only about 4 games left, but we are finally getting the Malik McClain that we thought we were going to get heading into the season, and that's a phenomenal sign. I believe if I'm Jeff Sims, if I'm Arizona State coaching staff, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Run the same stuff you were running last week, concept-wise and execution-wise. A lot of RPOs, a lot of rollouts with simple reads, a lot of power run and then play action to throw the defense off kilter a little bit. Jalen Moss and Malik McClain were getting schemed open like crazy. Shimon Mateer was getting into his spots and showing a lot more explosiveness than I think we've seen out of him during his time at ASU lately. Those 3 guys need to be the focus of the passing game. And Jaron Hamilton, I'm waiting for Jaron Hamilton to make another game-changing play. He's had that in him the entire season. I really think that they have the potential to take a shot play or two, and Hamilton is the perfect over-the-top threat to really, I guess, stretch out West Virginia's defense. And it'll be fascinating to see how he's used. Could you even possibly turn to guys that haven't played as much this year, like Henry Wasserman, Henry Hassman, Harry Hassman. I'm very tired, my bad. Or Zechariah Sample, or even a Derek Eusebio who hasn't been a factor as much in the last few weeks. Can you break those guys out in the jet sweep game, in the screen game, as an unexpected focal point on maybe a play or two of the game where they won't be receiving as much attention from the defense? There's not as much tape out on them. We'll see. I kind of feel like they should and they will do the same thing that they did against Iowa State, because realistically West Virginia's in the same ballpark of Iowa State in terms of overall defensive production this season, how they look on film, the coaching that they've received. They're both disciplined teams that are kind of still trying to find their footing even late in the season. And I have all the confidence in the world that they will be able to weather the storm of no Jordan Tyson. I believe that Arizona State should win this game. I think Jeff Sims is going to have another strong showing in his first home start. And we shall see this Saturday at 11 a.m. MST from Mountain America Stadium. The Sun Devils are going to be in play for their 7th win of the season, and I will be there to cover it for each and every one of you. And that's really all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to another edition of the Sun Devils Insider Podcast, and I will see you with another episode previewing the Arizona State Gonzaga game tomorrow. Thank you so much.